all of you for joining after work hours.
We are really excited to, learn some new things from you and get to know you as well.
Absolutely.
And also, this is a cross-culture, collaboration. So we are working in two different time zones. So this is a great opportunity for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's my whole idea is, and I hope this will be worth your time, and you'll able to get something out of it. And Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and if you want to know something or want me to elaborate or anything, and something which probably I have not covered. I mean, look, I don't have answers to everything, but sometimes just talking helps. That it feels like we are in the same boat. Um,
Yes, exactly. Sometimes we don't need the answer. We just need the experience so that we can learn from experiences. So every time the
yeah,
answer is not the solution for every problem. So the experience
right.
can also be a new learning experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll wait
Are
for more
we
2 minutes.
okay?
Mm.
I will go ahead and start sharing my screen. So let's see we get any technical issues out of the way until the rest of the folks join us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So where are you all from? Where are you based out of?
So everyone here is from different locations. So some
Perfect.
people are sitting in Solapur, some people are sitting
Mm-hmm.
in Jabalpur, and I'm talking from Pune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got some small connection to Pune, and I will talk about it a little bit when we get to my introduction and my journey.
Yes.
But that's amazing. Other screen. Dheeraj, could you confirm what you see right now? I'm sharing my screen. I want to make sure that
I
I'm
can see
sharing the
the
right.
home page. I can see the desktop
Oh,
view
desktop
now.
is there. Okay.
Yes.
What about now?
Yeah, I can see the PPT now, so I can see the
PPT?
presentation.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I guess everyone is here, and we should the uh, start with the formal
Okay.
introduction. I would like to introduce Shekhar for our audience as so. Shekhar is a seasoned automation architect and AI generalist with 20 plus years of experience. And also, he has engineered and initiatives for Fortune 500 companies. And he's currently based in Houston, Texas. And he helps enterprises transform with scalable automation. Also, apart from his business, he is specialized in automation strategy, generative AI, CI, CD integration, and agile leadership, known for turning complex challenges into enterprise scale solutions. And his vision is to empower teams to think smarter, grow faster, and succeed in today's IT landscape. And today's Shekhar is here to give us some insights and a session on how to think, grow, and succeed in today's IT landscape. So I'm formally welcoming you, Shekhar, and thanks a lot for your time that you have given us from your busy schedule, because I know in US it's a little difficult to have some time, and the time which we have we probably use for our personal use, but you're using it for us, so that means a lot for us. So thanks a lot, Shekhar, and I'm handing over to you. You can start with your session. So
Right. Thank you, Dheeraj, for that wonderful introduction.
yeah.
And Once again, thank you all of you to be Present here after work hours. I have worked in India. I'm originally from India, Mumbai. So I know how things can get crazy in the evening over there with their personal and social lives. Really appreciate the time. You being here uh, to just hear a random guy, I would just say, right? And I really hope that this is worth your time and you'll be able to take something from this. Uh, Again, feel free to ask me any questions. I really want to share my experiences. You may be able to relate some of those experiences, or may be able to use some of this now or in future, right? So let's get into it. Uh, my slides are not moving. 1 second. Okay, there you go. Right. So first things first, Wolfgang Platt's business network and CEO of all of you for joining after work hours.
We are really excited to, learn some new things from you and get to know you as well.
Absolutely.
And also, this is a cross-culture, collaboration. So we are working in two different time zones. So this is a great opportunity for us.
Absolutely. I mean, that's my whole idea is, and I hope this will be worth your time, and you'll able to get something out of it. And Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and if you want to know something or want me to elaborate or anything, and something which probably I have not covered. I mean, look, I don't have answers to everything, but sometimes just talking helps. That it feels like we are in the same boat. Um,
Yes, exactly. Sometimes we don't need the answer. We just need the experience so that we can learn from experiences. So every time the
yeah,
answer is not the solution for every problem. So the experience
right.
can also be a new learning experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll wait
Are
for more
we
2 minutes.
okay?
Mm.
I will go ahead and start sharing my screen. So let's see we get any technical issues out of the way until the rest of the folks join us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So where are you all from? Where are you based out of?
So everyone here is from different locations. So some
Perfect.
people are sitting in Solapur, some people are sitting
Mhm.
in Jabalpur, and I'm talking from Pune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got some small connection to Pune, and I will talk about it a little bit when we get to my introduction and my journey.
Yes.
But that's amazing. Other screen. Dheeraj, could you confirm what you see right now? I'm sharing my screen. I want to make sure that
I
I'm
can see
sharing the
the
right.
home page. I can see the desktop
Oh,
view
desktop
now.
is there. Okay.
Yes.
What about now?
Yeah, I can see the PPT now, so I can see the
PPT.
presentation.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I guess everyone is here and we should the uh, start with the formal
Okay.
introduction. I would like to introduce Shekhar for our audience as so Shekhar is a seasoned automation architect and AI generalist with 20 plus years of experience. And also he has engineered and initiatives for Fortune 500 companies and he's currently based in Houston, Texas, and he helps enterprises transform with scalable automation. Also, apart from his business, he is specialized in automation strategy, generative AI, CI, CD integration, and agile leadership, known for turning complex challenges into enterprise scale solutions. And his vision is to empower teams to think smarter, grow faster, and succeed in today's IT landscape. And today's Shekhar is here to give us some insights and a session on how to think, grow, and succeed in today's IT landscape. So I'm formally welcoming you, Shekhar, and thanks a lot for your time that you have given us from your busy schedule, because I know in US it's a little difficult to have some time, and the time which we have we probably use for our personal use, but you're using it for us, so that means a lot for us. So thanks a lot, Shekhar, and I'm handing over to you. You can start with your session. So
Right. Thank you, Dheeraj, for that wonderful introduction.
yeah.
And once again, thank you all of you to be present here after work hours. I have worked in India. I'm originally from India, Mumbai. So I know how things can get crazy in the evening over there with their personal and social lives. Really appreciate the time. You being here uh, to just hear a random guy, I would just say, right? And I really hope that this is worth your time and you'll be able to take something from this. Uh, Again, feel free to ask me any questions. I really want to share my experiences. You may be able to relate some of those experiences, or may be able to use some of this now or in future, right? So let's get into it. Uh, my slides are not moving. 1 second. Okay, there you go. Right. So first things first, we're looking at Platts business network and see. And I'm really excited to be here and be a small part of it. And big shout out and kudos to the team at Sarvarth for putting this all together. Really, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of organization who does this. And it shows the management and it shows the culture of the organization, right? So I really appreciate that, and I'm really admired by it what Vaibhav has put together here. And again, once again, to all of you wonderful attendees, thanks for hearing out a random guy. Honest confession is that I have probably given a lot of technical trainings in last 20 years or so, but I haven't done something like this. I have not formally shared my experiences and learnings. So I'm a little anxious in terms of I don't know how will it be useful, how it will be perceived. So your feedback will be really helpful. And I keep saying this, that please ask me questions so I get to know that this was useful and valuable to you. Um, okay, so go on to next. And okay, a little bit about me. Dheeraj has already covered most of the things here, so I'll quickly skim through this. With 2 decades of experience in leading delivery automation programs for global enterprises. In my current role, I'm leading a program to scale intelligent automation and modern QE practices for ExxonMobil. Uh, why I say intelligent automation and modern QE and not automation, because we will see in one of the slides later that technology landscape is getting very complex. It is very difficult to just pinpoint one thing that, hey, I do this one thing, and it is going to be spread across. And so you have to be master of a lot and excuse me, jack of all and master of few. That's what I put it, right? A side project which I'm also working on is exploring and building Gen AI and agentic AI frameworks. It was easier, or why did I choose it? Because you cannot escape AI today. Um, Upskilling and keeping up with the new technologies is something I'm very passionate about in general, and I have that's one of the learnings I have from my 20 years of experience, that you cannot be complacent. You have to keep learning. You have to keep upskilling yourself and see what's out there. We'll talk about a little bit in that direction, that how to go about it. How do I go about it? How do I select what to learn? How to learn? Right. I've done my engineering from Mumbai University, Shan Anchor College. It's in Chamber. Anybody aware about this college or from there or that area? Oh, no worries. Um, as I said earlier, I'm a Mumbaiker. Pretty much lived two-thirds of my life over there. Born and brought up over there. I did my schooling, my engineering. My first job was in Mumbai. So through and through Mumbaiker, and presently based out in Houston, Texas. Outside of work, I enjoy reading, pretty much anything I get my hands on, anything I feel curious about, I am reading it. I enjoy tracking and learning financial markets, geopolitics, and recently I have also started dipping my feet in psychology. Right. Let's talk about my journey a little bit here. And please bear with me, guys. This, you might feel that why I'm getting into the details of this, but there are some important outcomes from this, and which I want to share with you all. So 2003, this is when I passed out of my engineering. Um, Very excited after engineering. You are getting into the real world or the corporate world, and and you feel like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get to go to a job, right, and do some good work, right? However, 2003 was a tough job market for us. um, Appeared for multiple interviews. We were not getting, at least I was not getting a job. um, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the line, you start developing these doubts in your head that, hey, what's wrong? What do I do? Where do I go from here? What if I don't get a job? Overall, that unknown pressure builds upon you. Your friends are getting jobs and they are doing started doing well and things like that, right? So the doubts and frustration creeps in. However, I had a very big support from my family. My friends were helpful. I kept learning. Out of engineering, I did my engineering in electronics. But in 2003, the software and the computer engineering was more prevalent, right? So I learned Java. I also did networking at CCNA. Somebody told me that's in. So again, I kept learning. I used my time while I was looking for jobs. I kept learning new things. I didn't sit there idle. And finally, I got a break. I joined as a developer in 2004. And when you get something with a lot of efforts, you appreciate it, right? So I worked really hard. In my first job, I learned everything I could about industry, my job, my role, and I was really getting really good at what I do. I was getting all the promotions, all the opportunities to work on newer projects, and everything was going well until 2008, where we were hit by financial crisis. Any All of you or any of you know 2000 or remember 2008 financial crisis? Quick, anything in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and talk about it. Or maybe I'm just too old and too old to remember, too old to remember that. Anyone? Right. So financial crisis was it was a dot-com bubble. Yeah, that was before me. That was in 1999. Um, so I think the effect of dot-com was lingering in 2003. People, I mean, the industries was just coming back up and trying to invest. So that's where the tough job market. The financial crisis was the Lehman Brothers crisis, where all over the world the banks were started to fall down. I mean, banks are the cornerstone of the economies. I mean, you cannot survive. Any industries cannot survive without banks, right? So I had a very big realization in 2008, because until that point of time, as I said, I was doing really well. I was growing well. I was getting the opportunities. I had visited on-site a couple of times, and I was like, okay, this is it. My life is set, right? And starting 2008, when that happened, we started hearing about, this is the first time I got an understanding of something called as a mass layoff, right? We never had an understanding what is a mass layoff. And I give you a preview of what was going on in there is that we started hearing about, oh, there is a list that comes out every week and which will have the list of the names where people are let go, right? And you just don't know if you are there on that list or not. And at that point of time, when something like this happens, you are just a number for the company, honestly. No matter how well you are doing or how well you have done or what your experience is, really does not matter, right? And I had that epiphany that, oh, I cannot take things, really anything for granted. That was my biggest learning in my first job. Things can change in a moment. You can do everything right, but still things can go wrong for you, right? So somehow, fortunately, and I say fortunately because I had no role in it. I just kept on doing what I was doing, and I survived. I did not lose my job, but I was humbled and very grateful. Fast forward to 2010, I was peaking my growth in my first job. So I started getting, and I was honestly getting too comfortable as well in the job I was doing. Pretty much I can do things in my sleep. And I got just curious that, hey, I have been in Mumbai all my life. I want to see what's out there, what's there to explore. I wanted to explore new organization, the cultures, me work with large teams, because my first job was with NIT Technologies. It's a very small company. Not now, at that point of time it was, but I worked with a very small team. So I wanted to work with the larger organizations, the GSIs of today, like the Infosys, the Wipros, the Cognizants of the world. And I wanted to just experience it, that what it's like there to go into a big campus and work with a large team, and how does everything work. So I I just packed everything and I left Mumbai and I moved to Pune. So Dheeraj, that's my Pune connection. I just replanted myself to a new city, a new company, uh, new domain, and pretty much a new technology. I didn't know anybody in Pune. I just went there. Um, and Pune was amazing. I learned a lot. In general, coming out of Mumbai, it was a relief, honestly, with the traffic. And again, this is 2010, not now. So things have, I don't want to call it, but yeah, it's a little bit more chaotic now. Um, so that's was my second learning, which I will share about it. Fast forward to 2000, so I was in Pune for around 2 to 3 years. I was with Wipro. Yeah, it has changed a lot. Oh, very much so. I was with Wipro. I was in Hinjawadi. Um, I lived in Pimple, Saudagar area, and it was a great experience there. Fast forward to 2013, I got promoted as a project manager. And if you see, I call that as a front lines. The reason is And you could have guessed that I got an opportunity to travel to work with the customer on site. And the reason I call it as frontlines is you have, when you are at on-site, you are the face of the company, you are the face of the project, and there is really no covers for you. There is no hiding for you. Right? At offshore, sometimes you can hide behind uh, the team. Or when I say hide, as in you can probably, okay, I will do something. And when you are seeing the customer, it's very difficult to get past that, right? That, okay, I will not do it, or I will do it tomorrow. So there is no cover, you are vulnerable, and there is a lot of responsibility on you. So that was a big experience. There was a new environment, working with a new culture at on site, and 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 things were going well over there. I did my PMP, and I decided I'm going to go in the management side. I started climbing the management ladder. Again, I was getting all the promotions and growing really, right? Uh, uh, got to work on really exciting projects. This is where I got the opportunity to work with Tricentis and Tosca. Honestly, I started as a delivery manager or the project manager for rolling out Tosca at an enterprise level. I was not an architect. I was not working with Tosca testing or automation, right? But again, I was knowing the tool and how everything work and things like that, right? Things were going well until 2018, and it's 2003 again all over for me. Um, what was interesting here is that I could see the similarities between coming out of college. The uncertainty, the frustration, and the doubt started coming back in because of a policy change at an organization that were. It was right around the time the administration was changed in US. We had doubts about your work authorization, the visa challenges, and nobody is sponsoring visa for you, or they are not extending the visa for you, and you just don't know you're going to stay here, you're going to go back. What are you going to do? Right? Again, I kept learning. This is where I got an opportunity to, and fortunately, again, Tricentis was started in, I think, in the US in 2016, 17. And by 18, they had established themselves pretty much over there, and there was an opportunity to work as an architect. Um, and that's where I thought how difficult it's going to be. Right? I learned Tosca. I literally went through the whole manual because I knew Tosca, but not to a level where I can call myself an architect. So I literally worked for like 3 weeks, 6 to 8 hours a day, managing my work, going through each section in the Tosca manual, not the training, the whole manual, to make sure that I get what's in it or how it works, knowing the fundamentals, grasping the fundamentals of automation and testing. And I got a job as an architect, Tosca architect, and I moved from Cincinnati to Houston. Again, Mumbai to Pune, something very similar. I'm getting into a new city, a new area, new domain, and I don't know anybody here, right? And COVID happened. Fortunately, again, somehow survived that. Again, I had no role to play in it. And But I kept learning. I did all my certifications in Tricentis and Tosca and be it DI or TQL or Qtest or you name it. I mean, pretty much I have done everything. Right. And fast forward to 2025, here we are, and I'm seeing the patterns again. We all uh, pretty much every day or every other day, we talk about, we have our groups and friends that, okay, what's the big reset, as they say? What's AI going to do? Are we going to lose our jobs? Right? So who knows? I mean, nobody has an answer, but from all of my experiences, this is what I'm going to do is keep on learning, keep on evolving, keep on upskilling myself, right? So summarizing some of my learnings is this. 20 years of my journey is, the first one is I got it from my mentor and my boss in 2008, that, hey, and his name was coincidentally Vaibhav, yes, that, uh, hey, what's going to happen? I mean, are we going to lose our jobs? What we will do, right? So at that point of time, honestly, nobody knows. Even your bosses, your managers wouldn't know, because those decisions are taken at so high level that you are just a statistist, honestly. And there is nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that's the company's fault or the company is doing wrong. It is what it is. You have to accept that fact. That's how companies run. That's how companies will run in future. Right. But he told me this very one important thing is that always be in the game, Shaker, no matter whatever happens. Don't quit. If you cannot run, you walk. If you cannot walk, you crawl. If you are laid off for 2 months, 3 months, you have done enough, you are capable enough to learn something, use that time, upskill yourself, and get back in their game. Right. So always remember that. I mean, it's more than 20 years and I still remember that. Don't take anything for granted. Embrace unpredictability. I was a guy who liked to know things in advance, and I think we all are, like, who likes unpredictability or uncertainty. But again, this is a part of the game in IT or any job, and currently right now, things can change in a moment. So don't take anything for granted. Keep doing your best and see where it takes you. Shake things up, be in the uncomfortable zone. This is what I think this was more of a personal thing. I early on realized that I am not very good at doing things which becomes too repetitive or too monotonous. So I like the change. I like to take on bigger projects, different projects. Sometimes some of this is by choice, and sometimes you don't have a choice, right? So that's the unpredictability part here. So always keep yourself uncomfortable to a level that, hey, I'm getting too comfortable here. Let me change things up. Either you take on a bigger project, you take on a bigger role, or you change your company, or you learn something new on the side, right? Next is designations are great, but focus more on growth and experiences. Again, going back to being uncomfortable and embrace unpredictability. Try new things. Do not, at least I do not like to tie myself down to just one thing. For example, I have met people, and I'll give an example is that I have met people where they are like, oh, I just work on, I think, Cyprus, right? So there was this one guy like, okay, I just work on Cyprus. Like, that's not a very good approach, right? But each on its own, right? But I like to work on different things. I like to understand different things, and I like to have different experiences. Uh, Opportunities and luck are presented as setback and challenges. There is always in a hindsight, in the rear view mirror. Um, is Amar has a question? Okay. Uh, so setback and challenges are the part and parcel of your life. Again, if you go through the top four, it's just be in the game. Unpredictability is a setback. Uncomfortable zone is a challenge. But keep on chasing the growth and experiences. If you get through, and really, I mean, setback and challenges, if you get through it, right? If you just hold your wits together, and if you upskill yourself, if you keep on investing in yourself, I am very sure that you will get through it. I have got through the 20 years of my life. I have seen so many ups and downs. Um, and I just kept on doing whatever I was doing, whatever is in my control. And now I think that, oh, that setback was not really a setback. That was an opportunity for me to grow. Right. So that mindset you have to develop, that, okay, this will pass and I will come out stronger. I said this multiple times, investing in upskill yourself. Some companies are, they invest in employees, but do invest in yourself and upskill yourself as well. Do not leave or expect your companies to do everything for you. Your life and your success is really in your hands. Early on, one of the learning with this goes is that I was waiting for, I was doing great work. I was doing amazing work. But I was waiting for my company to give me bigger projects. I never asked for it, right? Now I go and ask for it, that, hey, I want to do something different. I want to learn something. Hey, I have already learned the AI part and I want to work on AI projects, right? So people will say this person was in the right place and the right time. I do not believe that. I believe that you are always in the right place and the right time, and opportunities is out there. You need to be ready to take that opportunity. For example, AI, right? I mean, there is so many AI opportunities out there right now. I am in the right place and this is the right time. But if am I ready right now? No. So you have to work on yourself, you have to invest in yourself, and you have to upskill yourself. Last and the most important thing is know yourself and be yourself is over the time, uh, try to introspect and see what is your core beliefs are. I'll give an example that for a time being last couple of years, there has been a push or a suggestions for the companies I have worked with to for me to become to get into the sales part of it. And I have tried, but now I know that I am not a sales guy. Uh, Sales is not my strength. This is not something I am very good at. So I'm not going to invest time in turning my weaknesses into strength rather than just going to focus on my strength. What is my strength is, again, I understand businesses, I can connect the dots, I can uh, use technology to convert those business problems into solutions, right? So this is where I want to be, and this is where I'm going to continue invest my time. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you in all in general, that what's the foundational basis of how I approach in my professional life. Uh, I'll move forward with next is, so how do I see the today's IT landscape, right? All right. Okay. So today's IT landscape, I feel it's very complex. It's rapidly evolving. We have modular, decoupled applications. We have lots of tools to support those applications. Very hyper connected. We have got API for everything. API is really now like a household name. Everybody knows what API is. If you attend any AI webinar or a training, you will have people from all walks of life, not just IT background, and they are talking about API, get call, put call, post call, right? Tech mismatch is, there is so much of interconnectedness, not just at the API level, but at the technology level. It's just really hard to keep up with it, right? From a skills perspective, I call this full stack X because everybody expects you to know everything. Full stack developer, full stack tester, right? And it's I cannot just say that, hey, I just know, for example, Tosca, and that's all I'm going to do all my life, or it's going to help me get through next 10 years of my professional career. Competitive, it was always competitive. Uh, oh yes, full stack. That's why we say CXX, it's something like full stack X, right? So competitive, it was always competitive, and now it's going to be more competitive. And I'll give you an example of vibe coders competing with the traditional, let's say traditional programmers. I wouldn't say the real programmers, but let's say the traditional programmers, right? Um, or even at the designer level, right? We have got pretty much everything. I mean, I don't need to be a designer to create a website. So things are going to get very competitive. The base is going to be very broad. And honestly, there are days when I find it very confusing and overwhelming, even after so many years. Uh, so wanted to take a pulse check here that what do you guys agree? What are your views? How are you seeing things right now? Anyone, you guys can unmute yourself and share your experiences. Uh, Agree, disagree, or in general, just share your views if you would like to. Anybody? Vinay, do you want to share?
Yeah. So Shekhar, thank you for your time today. Actually, I joined a little later, and I realized I was on this experience slide of yours, the last one that you had shared, right?
Hmm?
And it's amazing. I mean, I'll start with that, and I'll come to this really quickly. So, the points that you had mentioned on that slide, you know, it I reach out to students all the time, and they ask for some kind of frameworks, or what is your experience? What was it that led you here, or somehow they want something that could get them some shortcut kind of thing, right? That everyone's
Yeah,
looking for, some template or something. But when you look at those pointers that you had shared, and it's almost a common theme now that I
yeah,
would like the students to focus on, is that the fundamentals never change really and
yeah,
you somehow always already know what are those things that are required for you to reach somewhere, right? So upskilling
yeah,
yourself as a junior, as a fresher, all that still remains true even in this AI era. And
yeah,
those the pointers that you had shared kind of shades a little light on it, really. And coming to this slide, by the way, my opinion is that you really have to hone your skills first in order to put all the AI prowess to its use, right?
yeah,
And I think Wolfgang, I mean, earlier, it was actually the last month only that we had some monthly meeting with Wolfgang, and Wolfgang had shared how AI is ultimately going to only help those who are already experts. So
yeah,
the on graph, if you calculate how much of a difference or productivity boost it gains you, and he compared how it is with the juniors and how it is with the experts. So experts are able to put all the tools to their disposal to the best use compared to the juniors. So it's
yeah,
it's always going to be skilling up yourself and looking for anything and everything that builds you as a
yeah,
person, right?
yeah.
Ultimately. So I think the technology landscape, however it is and wherever it is going, I think that fundamental as well will always stay constant and important. So yeah, that's all I wanted to put. And thank you for this, by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, Vinay, you hit upon two important points, which I have with me, and one thing is, so that's a great segue into the next slide. So the fundamentals part of it, from the AI perspective, you and Wolfgang is absolutely right over there. Uh, Somebody mentioned about full stack designers. I'm assuming they are a designer, right? And I'll give you a simple example. So when I was learning about AI. And I know, I mean, you can get access to a Bolt or Lovable or something like that, and I can give a prompt and create a website, right? And I have played around with, I have created some basic frameworks, but there was one thing which hit me over there is, right, I can never create a website as good as a designer can, just because of the fact that there are some nuances of designing which I'm just not aware about because I'm not an expert. I'll give the one word which comes to my mind is, and whoever the designer was, right? If you could come online, you are okay. The one word which
I
come to my
Yeah, sure.
no,
Go ahead. Sorry, Shekhar. Yeah, that was me, by the way, putting that
okay,
comment out
all right.
because
No, but
yeah,
that's great, you know. And I was just thinking about it that the one word is glass morphism. There is a concept of glass morphism on website, and I would probably, as a person who's just got access to bold and vibe coding and I'm creating a website out of it, would never think of glass morphism. And I would always try to, okay, I want something like this, I want something like this, and the AI will keep on spinning its wheel that, okay, what is this, okay, it will give me something, okay, not this, okay, do this, not this, okay, do this, but I want something like this. The gradients of color, right? The placements, the sizing. As a non-designer, I can never compete with a designer because I can create a prototype, but that's about it. I would probably take 2 or 3 times more time than a designer to create a working website or a working product, right? So what Wolfgang said is absolutely right. With coding as well. I right now I have yesterday 2 days ago I was working with a Python script. I am not a native Python developer. I know programming. I can read a code, but then okay, hey, give me this script. I got a script. Then it did not work. I have absolutely no idea what to do with it. I have to go back. Hey, this is not working. This is the error. So this guy is telling me, the AI is telling me, do this. And I said, I don't know how to do this. Give me how to do that in the script to make it work. And there is no security in it. There is no logs generation. There is no debugging capabilities, right? So you have to, that's the edge that experts will have. And that's what I was trying to, again, once I said, right, work on your strengths rather than your weaknesses and trying to be something or someone you are not. Things, and with this today's IT landscape, it becomes very challenging to just, okay, can I do what do I do? I want to work on this, I want to work on this, I want to work on this, I want to work on this as well, right? So try to find something which is very you have a foundation for and build upon it, right? So my example of I'm working on Gen AI and agentic AI is I'm building up on the foundation of automation. I already understand automation. I know the basics. So for me, it is very easy to pick up agentic AI, right? I am not trying to learn machine learning or machine learning algorithms or set up new LLMs or train new LLMs because that's not my strength. It will take me probably years to get there, right? So that's the part I was trying to bring out. Okay. So coming to the second part, the fundamentals, right? And you are absolutely right. The fundamentals always remains the same. In my learnings, my readings, my professional experience, I have seen that there are patterns which repeats. Your core fundamentals do not change. Everything is built up on that. And in this fast, complex, evolving world, if you chase after a product, by the time you learn the product changes or the industry has moved ahead, right? And so you are back to square one. So how to deal with it? So always have something on the side which is going on, which I said I'm working on agentic AI and Gen AI frameworks. So this is what I was introduced to while I was reading about financial markets, mental models. Anybody has come across mental models, using it or explored it? Okay. So, and I'm sure you must have used it. And some of the examples I'm put it here, right? You have used it or seen this. Maybe you just don't know it's a mental model, right? So can you anybody or can you tell me, have you seen or looks familiar, any one of these looks familiar to you? Sorry, I think switching back. Okay, anyone? Okay, the most important ones, which probably I have used it, is go ahead, Vinay.
Yeah, so I think the ones I know is, I mean, the top three for sure.
Okay.
Circle of competence, I'm not sure. Pareto principle I know about, because in fact
Yes.
Vaibhav Patil had introduced to me an year ago, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing rule, by the way.
Yeah.
Feedback loops also, yeah, bottleneck analysis I'm not sure about. So, yeah,
Right.
probably
So
most of the students already know Pareto principle here, but not sure about the others.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
80-20 rule is the most famous. I mean, probably from the
Yeah,
first year on the job, we use it. 80-20 rule, 80-20 rule, 80-20 rule, right? So again, I mean, as I said, we all of us have used something somewhere in our lives, in personal life, in professional lives. And the best thing about mental model is it's not only for your professional lives, it can very well work in your personal life as well. So, and I was introduced this during my learnings and learning about financial markets. It is very much very well used there. It was made famous by Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. If you know them, from Berkshire Hathaway. And what really is a mental model is, right? It gives you an understanding of how something works at a fundamental level. Right? It's sort of a framework. It's sort of a guide to navigate familiar situation, not the same, but familiar situation, and predict outcomes. That what are the possibilities or what could happen, and guide our actions, helps us make decision. And again, the most important word here is simplify complexity, which is today's landscape is. Everything is so complex. So this is the fundamentals when you were talking about, is that mental models are very amazing. You will have mental models for every field. So circle of competence, I'll talk about in a bit, can apply in financial markets, can apply in automation, testing, designing, development in its own ways, right? And these are out of the box models, as I call them, but you can also develop your own mental models, how to go about something. It just simplifies things for you, right? So let's look at some. I'm going to share a few that I use to navigate through this maze of technology, testing, and automation. So, okay. So what is a mental model? We talked about this a little bit, how something works and formed from your experiences. It's a framework which helps you to navigate situations, predict outcomes, and guide our actions, simplify complexity, and helps in decision making. I would highly encourage you to go and Google mental models and read about it. There are 2 or 3 websites I can share with you, which are amazing source of information for mental models. And take one model a month, to be honest. There are like lots of them. It's a fascinating read. Right. How to develop mental models? It's a very simple. If you are from testing background, it's just uh, it's like just how a testing works. You make an assumption, you try it out the hypothesis and see what's the expected outcome is, and then you correct it. This is also a fundamental way how AI works or training an LLM works. Gradient descent is error minimization function. That's how it works. And you keep on creating these frameworks which at a point of time you think that, hey, this is okay. This is how in general things should work. There could be a few exceptions, but it helps you get started. Right. So let's look at how do I apply a circle of competence in testing? Or again, if I talk about the testing landscape, it is so complex. If we go step down into testing, it doesn't simplify things. I cannot just say that I know software testing. That is, if you look at it, it's so big. It is complex, though not impossible, but it is really going to be difficult for anybody to know everything. We have manual testing, automated, functional, non-functional, which is then further divided into 4 blocks, which is then further divided into 4 blocks each. There is no way I can learn everything and be an expert at it. So what the circle of competence is, and again, this is very famous by Warren Buffett. I mean, Warren Buffett discussion cannot go without circle of competence in terms of the financial markets, but you can easily apply it anywhere. Right. So it defines, it helps you to narrow down your focus on what you really know, what is your area of expertise, and where you can confidently say and reasonably predict how things happen, what is going to happen. Right. So I have developed my area of competence in software testing, automation, functional testing, and within that, I'm just focusing on the 3 parts, which I want to focus on, or I'm pretty confident about that. If somebody asks me a question in that area, I will be able to answer that confidently. Again, it is impossible to know everything, but I know if I can either probably answer it or I know where to find the answers for. I have consciously left out unit testing because unit testing is more on pro code side of testing, and the rest are low code or no code side of testing. So working with Tosca for so long, I think I worked with Tosca for 4 years or so. I'm pretty confident about how my functional testing works with low code or no code tools. Right. This also does not mean that I'm going to limit myself to this. At the same time, I work on this, I build an expertise on this. I keep learning newer features that comes in, newer technologies that comes in. I keep on expanding my circle of competence, which is the purple circle, if you see, and make that circle bigger. Right. So over here, I could have gone to unit testing, or I could have gone to the non-functional side, but I made a conscious choice looking at the industry trend that industry is heading in the AI direction. So it will be more beneficial for me to get into the agentic AI side of automation. It's easier for me. Right. So that's how you keep on increasing your circle of competence. Or if you are thinking of switching your job role or your domain, find something similar or something more tangential. Right. So that's your circle of competence. Focus again, something I covered earlier. Focus on your strength. Be really good at what you do, and keep on increasing your circle of competence. Right. Next, again, so after this, the problem does not solve. Right, and I'll tell you why. And as you go further deeper into this, so I can say, oh, I know this, but then this is something I had posted 4 years ago, and I'm so surprised that it is still so relevant. Is sometimes when we talk about automation, the expectation is, hey, you have a test automation tool, you learn a test automation tool and just automate test cases, and what's more there is. right? But to develop your circle of competence, you have to see what's inside the hood, what is below the iceberg, the famous iceberg diagram that we always use, what you don't see that goes behind the scene, right? There are so many things that you want to understand, you want to learn to be really good at, or develop that as a circle of competence. Uh, I have also recently did an analysis on, there was a LinkedIn post by Sinol Demir, where he shared a PDF of list of all the testing tools that he was aware about or he could get information on. Took a help from our friend ChatGPT and asked him to just do a quick analysis for me. And there were 97 tools, out of which, if you see, there are 54 automation frameworks, meaning there are tools like Tosca. There are 4 API tools, 3 mobile testing tools, 6 reporting tools, 12 management tools. Again, I'm going back to the previous slide. I cannot know and learn everything, right? However, what is difference between my previous slide and this slide is, I cannot say that, oh, I'm just going to learn automation frameworks and I'm not going to learn API tools. In the earlier side, I could do that. I could just say I'm going to learn functional testing or focus on functional testing. I'm not going to focus on performance testing and security testing. It was acceptable if I go to a customer, right? Hey, that's a different domain. I'll have to get another expert from my team, right? But in this case, I cannot give that same argument, right? So the same mental model cannot be used here. So what do we do, right? So let's try to do an exercise. All right. So you guys tell me, what do you see here? Just looking at this image, what comes to your mind? What do you see? Everyone. You can, let's see if I can, is the chat on? Or you can turn off your mic. That's absolutely fine. I don't know, I'm not able to find my chat. Are people typing or are they speaking? Car models, yes. Anybody? Cars, yes. Cars, yes. Okay. All right. So first question, what do you see? All of us agree it cars, right? So my second question is, are they same or different? Transformation of cars. Okay. Transformation of cars. They are different. Okay. Different. They are different. Okay. So I'm going to take just a quick, I'm going to mess with you a little bit, honestly. When we said, okay, what do you see? All of it said cars. Everybody said cars. But the second question came is, are they different? But they are different. Then how come they are cars? Right? So let's go to the next one. What is common between them? And I'll spoil this. What is also different between them? So my first question was, what do you see? Cars. Everybody said cars. Most of you said cars, right? Meaning there is something common. The second question, are they same or different? Most of you said different, so there has to be something different. So what is common? What is different? Everybody, come on. Take a wild guess. There is no right or wrong answers here. All has 4 wheels, absolutely. What else? Category, wheels, yep. So okay, category, all 4 wheels, different use cases, bills, yes. Right, so my next, different designs, absolutely. All are right answers. So my next question is, let's say if you have a hatchback, tomorrow you get a crossover or an SUV, to have to relearn driving. You have to, so let's say you are driving a hatchback today. Tomorrow you get a crossover. Do you go back to a driving school to learn crossover? Or if you go from a crossover to an SUV, you have to go back to the driving school and learn an SUV. Everybody, come on. I want more people to participate. So I make sure that I'm able to drive that point across. What do you think? It's not a trick question. It's a very simple question. If you're driving a hatchback today, if you have to drive a crossover tomorrow or an SUV, can you drive it? How difficult it would be? Or you have to like, oh, I have to spend a month learning how to drive a crossover on another car. Anyone? Little bit upgrade in driving skills. Yes, largely the same. Some upskilling required. Yes, you have to just get familiar with the size of it, the seat adjustments. It could be a change from manual to automatic, right? Music system, you might have to get adjust to, right? But largely everything remains the same, right? That pretty much happens with as you go down from your top level to a level down. And let's take an example of the automation frameworks I was talking about that. I don't have to learn everything or drive every car to know that I can drive every car. Of course, there are some exceptions on this image, and I have kept that for a person. For example, if you see there is a Formula One over there, it is not as same as driving a sedan or a crossover SUV. So think Formula One is like an AI. You might have to invest a little bit more time, but again, fundamentals pretty much remains the same, right? So that brings us to the second model, which I use is the first principles thinking. I think when I mentioned he has worked or used the first principle thinking, and this is made famous by Elon Musk. He is a first principle thinking guy, and what really it means is breaking down a complex problem into the fundamental basic units. And once you know that, it becomes like a Lego block for you, and you can piece it all together and learn or create something new. I'll give you a recent example of I worked on Tosca for good 4 years, and then I got an opportunity to work with UiPath. Fundamentally, they are very different tools. The UI is different, different companies. Tosca is more of a test automation tool. UiPath is RPA, robotic process automation tool, right? Just like we saw earlier that we have different types of cars. However, inside or under the hood, they were pretty much the same. The way they interact with the screens, the applications, how do I pass on the values? How do I debug a test case or a workflow in UiPath, right? So I didn't had to struggle too much or invest too much of a time to make that switch. The coming to that earlier slide of the iceberg diagram, where we have so many tools, what you need to do is in your domain, if you are having such situations, you need to understand what are the top 5-10 things which pretty much is in play or very much used in the industry. And you become an expert at one, and you start either learning about the other by yourself, or if you get an opportunity, you grab it with both hands. So today I'm in a position that I can confidently say that I work with the top two tools in the industry, Tosca and UiPath. And think about this from a customer perspective. Any customer, if I go and talk to that, hey, I'm trying to, they are already using Tosca, or if they are starting with automation, I'm saying, hey, I am going to do an assessment and Tosca is the right tool for you. There could be a question that what about what about UiPath? I have heard about UiPath a lot, and it's probably a very close competitor. It really helps me to give that perspective that, okay, I have worked on UiPath as well. I know the pros and cons of both. Why I think Tosca is better for you, why I'm not suggesting UiPath. So I can give a very unbiased view, and that goes a long way building your credibility and trust with the customer. Right? So again, start from the start, keep learning yourself, keep expanding your circle of competence, be good at something, and then explore on something similar and expand your knowledge base so that when it comes that opportunity to work on something, or God forbid, unfortunately, you do not have a project to work on, or you do not have a job to work on, you have avenues where you can say that, hey, I worked on Tosca, but I can quickly learn UiPath, and there is a job opportunity out there, and I can take that job, right? So that's first principle thinking. I use this a lot. I break down everything into fundamentals unit, the core of it. I try to put them into blocks, and let's just go from there. I mean, after a while, if you keep on practicing this, it becomes really easy to break it down and then put it all back together as a new feature, new product, or a new tool as well. Okay, moving on. First principle thinking, also use it. And if it, I just talked about it, right? Fundamental blocks, and you can keep on stacking the blocks, use it like a Lego, and you can create a tool or a product out of it and learn it fast. But then this is also useful when this is not only useful for learning to drive a car for that matter, right? What is so if we go back to the cars example, the question here is how different is it to drive a SUV versus a sedan on the road, right? Now, okay, I can drive the car, but how it is different to drive it on the road, right? Do we have to follow the same rules, or there are different rules for hatchback or a crossover or SUV? Again, forget about Formula Ones and Lamborghinis, right? What do you think? Do they follow the same rule, or they have different rules? Anybody, everybody? Same rules? Yes. Right. So this is what I do. And again, so for example, be it Tosca automation, test automation, or UiPath automation, I still have to follow the same rules, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel over there. To, let's say, if I have to calculate ROI, I don't have to worry about what tool I'm going to use. I have a mental framework for calculating ROI. And ROI, I can calculate it pretty much for anything. Risk coverage. Again, I don't, it is not dependent on the car you are driving or the tool you are using. The third one is the test environments. I want to have an understanding of a test environment, or be it a test data, or how to select test cases for automation. I'm not going to select a test case to automate or not based upon the tool I'm going to use. So these are some of the other building blocks that I work on, which I can use it for irrespective of the car I'm driving or irrespective of the tool I'm using. So again, this helps you propel really fast in your professional lives and in your work if you already have these things in place. This can also help you put a framework in your head that, okay, what is the first thing I want to do when I start with an automation project? Or what are the top 5 things I need to start with an automation project, right? I want to understand the scope, which is the test cases. I want to know if we have the tool sets, right? And then I want to calculate the ROI to identify if I want to do an automation or not. Do we have the environment set up? Do we have the test data set up or not? So again, this brings back to the image. We build up blocks and then we stack the blocks to create a framework, which then can be used in any project, automation project that you're going to run. And again, you can apply this in your field wherever you are working. Right. Next, I want to let's quickly see how we are doing on time. Okay, I think we have some good time. All right. Next, I'm going to talk about something called as iron triangle. Anybody has again worked or know or seen this before? What's an iron triangle is? I was introduced to iron triangle in 2017-18 while I was preparing for my PMP exams, which is a project management professional exam. And in that they talked about iron triangle for software development. Quickly, I realized that this is a universal thing and not only limited to software development. It very much applies in test automation and surprisingly also in AI. So what it talks about is, and this is more of a constrained model. How do I put it? Is again setting the expectations, your expectations and your customers' expectations. What it says is out of the 3 that you see here, cost, speed, and quality, you can only choose 2 of them. And the third will always be a trade-off. So in your conversations, when you are talking to customers, and if somebody says that, and generally this is the expectation, and this is the most important part, is setting the expectations right with the customer. Customers will always ask that I want the best quality in the shortest amount of time and the lowest cost. Now that is never going to happen. That's your expectations. That's great. There's nothing wrong with it. Even when I go shopping, that's what I want, right? I want the cheapest, but the best in the shortest amount of time. But this is universal in your personal life and your professional life. You can only select the 2. Think about this, right? If you want something fast and of a high quality, it is going to cost more. It's a fact. If you are going, okay, I want something high quality, but low cost, it is going to take more time. There is no way around it. That's a trade-off you have to do, right? And if you're saying that, okay, I want to something very fast, but I don't want to spend too much, your quality is going to go down. So the no way or however you slice it or dice it, you have to have a trade-off somewhere. And this is the first thing I start, not the first thing, but at least in the initial discussions, I start talking to my customers about that. Hey, what is your priority here? And what is the trade-off you are ready to do so that your expectations from me is not misaligned? And This again helps me establish my credibility, honestly, in some ways, that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm going to do, and I know how I'm going to do this because I have seen this over and over again. Right. So this is one of the frameworks I really use it. I talk to my customers. I walk them through this, that, hey, we can select only two. What do you want to do here? And what is the trade-off that you are ready to do? Based on this, you can create your success factors or success criteria, definition of done, that what is really what you are going to deliver at the end of the project. Right. Next, there are some more frameworks. And anybody familiar with AI here? And I can quickly talk about the how does it apply in the AI context as well. Anybody working on AI? Don't see anything in the chat. Okay. But yeah, I have written something about the iron triangle on AI as well. If you're interested, you can go and read about it on LinkedIn. It's plays around with context window, the size of the token, and the API cost. It has to be a trade-off between one of those. Okay. Next is this is a framework to scale. So most of my projects have been for large enterprises, global enterprises. So how do we scale to different geolocations, different applications, right? And these are the three things which I use pretty much every time. One is the as is to be model, or there's a different word is maturity models. Without knowing where you are, you cannot plan for where you want to go. That's what I tell the customers, right? You have to understand what is your current state as is. What are your strengths, weaknesses, challenges, limitations, and where you want to go. A real customer conversation. Customers get very excited with automation, and in the first meeting, they start talking about CI/CD, right? And our conversations are like, hey, are you even working in Agile? If you're working in waterfall, CI/CD, forget about CI/CD, you can't even do automation, right? So do you have that in place? That's what a maturity model is, to get to automation, successful automation, scaled automation, and then we can start talking about DevOps. Right. So again, this is a part of setting your customer expectation. And you can use this in your other domains as well, that where you are and where you want to go, and from the iron triangle, what are the trade-offs that you want to do. The second framework that I use is, so when we decide that what your maturity is, you have the basics in place, where you are right now and where you want to go. How do we enable the team, the organization, in a repeatable fashion, so that they can use that journey from as is to be, or start walking on that journey from as is to be. So people, process, and tools are the next important things we focus on. People meaning, do you first of all have people on the teams? I have worked with customers who don't have testers on the team, dedicated testers on the team, and they want to do automation, right? Or they have testers on the team, but they are manual testers, and then they need to be trained on automation. Right? Or from a process perspective, the testers are doing, they really don't have the bandwidth to do anything else. So forget about training. They don't even have bandwidth to do automation. They don't have processes in place to do development in a sprint. They do not have, they are not giving the capacity to the developers, or they are not involving the the testers in sprint planning, user story grooming, and things like that, right? So that's the process part of it. And the last part is, do you have a technology to support this? Do you have the right tools for agile development? Do you have right tools for automation? Be it functional, non-functional, it can apply anywhere. And the third framework I use is that once we have these things in place, or at least on paper, that how we are going to approach it, how are we going to make it repeatable and scalable? How are we going to approach automation? Right? Anybody from testing field on the call? Do we have anybody who has worked in testing or automation testing?
No, Shekhar, I think
Okay.
they are not saying about it.
Yeah, good. I was I was thinking trying to make this testing and automation heavy, so that's good. But you get the idea. You can break things down. Again, this is going by some of the first principles we talked about. Right. Moving on. So this is what I use to scale automation at an enterprise level, starting from the initial building blocks. Competency development, iron triangle, and let's say if I do this, right, and I be an expert at something, I develop my mental models, I develop my frameworks, I go and test, I go and talk to customers, set my expectations, everything is fine. Do you all think that what are the chances of my project to be successful? Everybody, from your own experiences, or take a just wild guess. Again, no right or wrong answers here. It's not a trick question. Higher, okay. More people, what do you think? Anyone who wants to take a guess? Honestly, it's 50-50. And you'll be like wondering why. I mean, if you do everything, and then if you have the experience and you have done this multiple times in the past, let's say I've worked with 3 other projects, large organizations, and if I do everything, why I'm saying 50-50? And this is honest feedback I have. It's 50-50 because the reason is this. The next slide. The glue that binds all together. At the end of the day, tools, processes, learnings, experiences, I cannot use or deploy them in silos. I'm dealing with people. When I say I'm dealing with people, I'm dealing with my organization, my team, my managers. I'm also dealing with customers. And customers, there are different levels. We try to group them as customers. Who is a customer, right? It's not one person. You work with test manager, there is a business team involved, there is a development lead, there is a functional lead, there is a test lead, there are developers, there are testers, right? So we try to call them as all as customers. They are different personalities. And they have their own different incentives. And I'll give you an example that some people have worked with a team where they were very against, the whole team at the bottom were like, oh, we don't want to do automation because they didn't want to learn a tool, or they find that, oh, it is going to take too much of a time. However, the manager was like, oh, I want to do automation. right? And then you have to bridge that gap, right? So there are some soft skills that's involved. Understand your customer needs, meaning you have to understand each person's incentive, and you have to showcase them how it's going to help them at a different levels. So the key skill that I try to develop over the time and over the year is that you need to develop a way to talk to different people at different levels. What I talk to a manager is not the same thing I talk to a developer or a tester. My communication changes, and that is going to be very fundamental going forward. That is not going to change. If I start talking about automation and then, okay, this is how you select something on the screen. On a technical level, probably the manager or the director may not be interested in it. However, a tester will be. So understanding your customer and their needs and how you communicate is very important. Without which it's going to be difficult getting through the project. Something similar is think like a customer, easier said than done. So for that, I use another mental model, which is called as inversion. Sometimes people will tell you that keep yourself in other shoes. And I was like, what do you mean? I mean, how do I even do that? Right? So keep yourself. So think of yourself as a customer. If you go to buy a car, for example, how would you expect the person who is selling the car to treat you, to ask, understand your need? What if you are thinking, I need a family car of 5 people, and somebody is selling you a Lamborghini or something like sports car or a two-seater car, right? Just to because he wants to make his numbers and targets. You will not like that, right? So you want somebody to know your needs, give you the right advice that, hey, your needs are this, even though you are thinking buying this because of X reasons, I think this will be a better option for you, right? Connect the dots. One size does not fit all is again the same thing. Don't try to sell SUV to everybody. With 2 people family or 4 people family or 6 people family, just because it has higher margins for you or you have higher commissions, right? So connect the dots, understand the needs, what are you going to sell, or what are you going to offer, take ownership, guide, show the way to the customer that, hey, I know I have done this 10 times or 3 times, or I have seen these challenges. I have worked with an organization of your size, right? Um, and and that's builds up your credibility, your trust. They start valuing your opinions and they start listening more. Honest, clear communication, no jargons. Don't complicate it. Don't sugarcoat it. What it is, it is. Give it to them that, hey, this is a problem. This is a challenge. I'm going to fix it this way. That's where the ownership comes in. And the first and the last phase of the project is the most important. Again, it goes back to understanding your needs, setting down the expectations, what you're going to get, how you're going to do it. And then you run, you communicate at every phase of the project, how it is going. If it is going not well, you tell them it's not going well, how you're going to fix it. And the last phase is that, hey, you tie up everything that, hey, we talked about this is how we did it, and this is the values that we talked about. We reached 80%. We didn't hit 100%. It's okay. I'm 100% sure the customer will be more appreciative than you try to sugarcoat 100%. Right? So that's pretty much it, and that's where I'll stop talking and my presentation ends. Um, you're seeing blank screen? Okay, I know what happened. Wait, I'll share my screen again. But yes, time for Q&A. Let's take some questions. And
Thank you, Shekhar. That was the great session. Everyone, please ready with the question. You
I'm going
can
to.
leave on chat.
Right. You can chat. You can come off mic and ask me anything. If you want me to elaborate on a particular topic, or if you want to talk about something that you are working on right now and how to apply it, we can do that. Again, I don't know everything. I never claim to be. I'm also learning. Probably I learned something from you guys. I would really like that.
Yeah, Rituraj, go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, hello Shekhar sir. Seeing your experience and the things you explored in your life is very fascinating to me. So before getting to my main question, a small background of mine. I am a 19-year-old boy who has completed his diploma in electronics and telecommunication. And a few months back, I joined Sarvarth WPCA project. And it's like I switched my career from hardware to software. So in front of me currently I have lots of things like from development, testing, automation, and manual UI/UX design, software, what we say, data analytics, data science, lots of things to learn and explore. So my main question is that in the era of AI today, where everything changes in the speed of light, so what should be my approach? Should I go one by one, like learn first development, then testing, then everything one by one, or should I try to find my positive or strong point and double down it and learning my remaining things basic means what should be my approach to learn and explore the things. You are on.
Shekhar, you are on
Got it.
mute.
Thank you.
Please. Okay.
So great question. First of all, I would like to say is that what is on your side is, again, look for the positives. What is really going for you? Uh, you have what I don't have, which is time. Right? So you are going to start with a blank slate, which is great. You already did something. You tried something. For example, even I did that, right? I did my engineering from electronics, right? But I learned Java. And I also learned networking. I'm a CCNA certified, expired a long time ago, right? But I'm not using that right now. So, but all the concepts and principles. So honestly, learning Java got me my first job, right? Networking helps me to understand how systems work, how architectures work, right? So first of all, don't think in terms of if I learn this, I will miss out on something else. Or if I learn something and I will not be able to use it anywhere else, right? Um, Second thing is find a balance between your strengths, what you like, and honestly, if you introspect, try to filter out all the noise, you would know what you really like. Okay, this I enjoy this. I really, you know, you feel that. I mean, I'm getting a little bit on the psychology side of it, but there is this aspect of it. Forget about job, forget about money, forget about designation. What do you really like? Now, I'm also not saying that you will always do what you like, right? But see, if you because you have time, you can actually make that investment to see that, okay, this is what I like and I'm going to learn this. You probably did your electronics and telecommunication out of choice or not choice. I did my electronics and I'll tell my experience. I did electronics out of choice. That was not my first choice, honestly, right? But I wanted to do engineering. I knew that. And I knew there is some common things between computer engineering or IT, right? So see do an honest assessment of where you are, know yourself, and be yourself. Again, the second thing is that do not try to focus on I'm going to do this or this or this. Jack of all, master of few. This is what my mantra is. I can talk about, and again, since I spent so much of years, but then that's how things will evolve. And again, we talked about this full stack X is what your expectation is going to be from customers or your managers or your organization. So in that case, you go from one thing to another. One, it will help you to understand yourself, what you really like if you already don't know. Do I like programming? Do I like networking? Do I like designing? Do I want to become a product manager? Right? Do I want to become even a scrum master or a release train engineer? There are so many roles out there. Try to do something of everything and see what you like if you already don't know. Again, because you have time. I cannot afford to do that right now. Right? And see what you like and then go in that direction. Create your circle of competence, be really good at it. Right? And then keep on expanding your circle of competence as you progress further. And you got a lot of time. I don't think so you have to worry about anything. AI, people say things, this will happen, that will happen. We will see. That's all we say to each other. We will see how it transforms. Same thing happened with computers. If you go and I mean, you will hear stories. You can Google it. Bank employees had went on strike that we will not work if you introduce computers in the banks, right? And because they were thinking that computers will take away all their jobs. No, you have to learn computer to keep your job and do things better. So when they say learn AI to help yourself learn faster, which is a great thing. Use AI today. There are like Notebook LM is there, Gemini is there, fantastic tool. I reverse engineer right now everything using Gemini. So this is I'm going into how to learn, right? Use it. You have the best tool available today to upskill, learn. You have got YouTube, you have got videos to touch upon everything. There is, again, don't limit yourself that I cannot do this because I have done this. MLAI, Stanford lectures are available. You can take those Stanford lectures, put it into Notebook LM and start start your conversations and learn about machine learning as well. It might take you a little bit time, but again, you have time. I can't do that. You can. And let's say if that's what's your passion, you wanted to start with that. So again, don't limit yourself. You still have, and don't try to set yourself in a path that this is what I'm going to do. Be very flexible. One of my points was there, be flexible, be uncomfortable. Don't think that, okay, I'm going to learn this and my life is set and I'm going to learn on lakhs of rupees or millions of rupees. Money will follow. That's okay. You will figure something out. You got the capabilities, you have the knowledge, you have the experience. Keep working, keep upskilling. Not sure if I answered the question, but again, there is no right or wrong answer. There is no solution for this.
Yeah, thank you for your guidance, sir. I will try my best to implement your guidance.
Feel free to reach out if you have questions or if you just want to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Right, 2 questions on the chat. Multitasking or focusing on one thing at a time. What will you suggest? Focusing on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a scam. Honestly, don't fall for it. It's just people use it to sound really fancy. That okay, I'm trying to I'm doing a lot of things, but your mind is not built for multitasking. You cannot have two thoughts at the same time. That is pure multitasking. Multitasking works with systems and machines. And if you work with automation, there is something called as parallel processing or unattended testing. I can really give 2 test cases to 2 machines to run at the same time. They are literally running the code or the test cases at the same time. As a human, I cannot do that. I have to stop something and start something else, and I have to stop something and start something else. Now that period of time could be as small as 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 hours, right? So I'm not a big fan of multitasking. Multitasking, I'm not saying that for the whole day I will just work on one thing, but I create my blocks. I start my day with, okay, I got laundry list of 10 items I want to do. There is no way I'm going to do 10 items in a day. I'm a machine. I'm not a machine, right? I need my breaks. I need my downtime. I need my social time. I need my space, free time. I like to watch TV, binge watch, whatever, right? Eat. So I just look at what is the top 3 or 4 things that I am going to focus on to cover. Out of that, what is the most important thing? If I have to report something or if I have to take a call with somebody in Europe or in India, I do that first because that's a dependency. Okay, in afternoon, this is all by myself. I do something. In the evening, I have the last chunk that, okay, I'll probably do some reporting or light activity before I wind off. Right. So that's probably a multitasking I would think of. But the way people do multitasking, they are attending a call, writing an email. I'm not a very big fan of that. I mean, my mind cannot process that really well. Right? What is the difference between as is and to be state in a process? As is to be state is uh, very simple. In if I give you an example of planning a journey, I'm right now here, and my plan is to travel to India. My as a state is in Houston, and my to be state is going to be India. And how do I get there? What do I need to do? How do I plan for it? And what all the steps I need to take in between? Looking for tickets, packing, shopping, how do I manage my work, right? And what all I need to do after I reach there. So it's a plan for something. So what is my end state? What is my goal? What is my objective is to be? But where am I today? How do I get there? And what are the steps I need to do, take in between? Is as is to be. Did that answer your question? I see a thumbs up, though I'm taking that as a yes. Okay. Sania, you have a question?
Yes. Hello,
Fine.
Shekhar sir. Thank you so much. Actually, this session, I really enjoy this, and I really liked how you connect mental model scaling framework and the human aspect of customer understanding. And yeah, it gave a very practical perspective for us. And I would like to ask one question that you have mentioned about that building trust is more important than driving values, right?
Yeah.
And can you tell me one thing, like what is one practical way to build trust quickly with a new customer whenever I met with new customer?
There is no silver bullet. Because there is nothing, when I say there is no silver bullet, meaning I cannot tell you that go and tell these 5 sentences and you will build trust. Because trust is something very abstract, right? And it is very human. You cannot define it in a process. You cannot even quantify it, right? And how do you go about building a trust if it's not a customer? Again, inverse the problem, the inversion mental model. How do you trust somebody? It's a question I ask. Take an example of buying a car, going for a shopping. You typically go to the same shop every time. Why? You look for the same person to sell you something, or you like to buy from there. Even your normal grocery shopping, right? You have a set place you go and you take, because over the time that person has proven that they are thinking for you more than they are thinking for themselves. I'll give you a very simple example. My mom lives in India, and she only orders or gets grocery from only one person. That's it. Why? Because my mom orders something, that person tells my mom, ये बासी है, ये मत खरीदो. Right? He's not sending, he's not selling. In automation, I do that. If I tell them, I get these crazy requests, 100% automation. We want to automate everything. Or one touch automation, no touch automation. They hear these fancy words. Some salesperson has sold them something, and that is not going to happen. One, that is impossible. That's just a sales pitch. Two, does not even make sense. There is no ROI in it. I have cut down my project revenue numbers by 20-30%. My company is not happy with me. But I'm like, hey, do you want to have the customer for long term, or you just want to have the customer for one time? Because customers are smart now. They will catch on. Or there will be some other company will come and tell you that, hey, why are you doing do this? I can do this 30% cheaper. Right? So again, be yourself, be honest, give the right advice, even if it costs your company. You think like a customer. Your professional responsibility is to the customer and not your company. Your responsibility to the company is doing things the right way, and this is the right way. You can have your conversation with your manager sometimes, right? Depending upon where you are. I am at a place where I front face with customers. Let's say you are not, but you feel that way. Go and talk to the manager saying that, hey, this is not possible. We shouldn't be doing this. Even if then they go ahead with this, that's fine. I write an email till today, sometimes where I'm not the decision maker, but I think that, hey, this is not the right way to do it. I put it in writing. In my professional experience, this is what it should be, so that my conscience is clear. You do whatever you want to do then. Where I can make a decision, I take that ownership. Make sense? Perfect.
Right. So it is some kind of difficult to build trust in first connect, right?
Just be yourself. Honestly, know yourself. Be yourself. There is no problem in challenging status quo. Don't always think that this is the way things are done. For example, the sales part, which I said that I really struggle with the sales part because I have been in so many sales meetings and they promise so many things, and I'm like, come on, guys, I have to like turn off my camera and cringe. Right? And I'm like, okay, this is not me. I cannot do this. There are people who does that. Maybe business is done that way. So be it. But then when I come in, I reset the expectations, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this. I keep on communicating. Be honest with yourself. And again, you are not in a position where you are not able to do that. You have to let your managers, your organizations know that this is what I am thinking. Don't try to assume that, okay, this is how it is done. And again, there is nothing wrong in being a salesperson, right? Or the sales and going and talking the way people talk. There's nothing. I have friends who does that. We make fun of each other. That's fine, but that's not me. That's you. If you can do it, fine. If you can do it, fine. There is nothing wrong in it.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Anshul, best sale is the one where you are not selling. That's an art. Absolutely right. Right. More questions coming in.
Anyone have a question? Abhay, Anshika, Smriti?
Multitasking, difference between best sale. Okay. Okay, doing good on time as well.
No, Ankit, I don't
Okay.
have any questions.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Right. Just.
So I have shared my LinkedIn on the chat. Would love to connect with you all if you're interested. Feel free to reach out me if you want to have any discussions or if you have any questions. Right. And yeah, I just love to talk to people and their experiences. And honestly, my idea is just to learn from perspectives, because again, what I don't have is your perspective right now, because things have changed so much. How you think, what's going on in the world, and I can just start. I can talk about do this, do that. Doesn't work always, right? So I always want to keep an open mind, learn from all of you. If you have a experience to share, please do that. Last thing I want to say is that build your brand and build your credibility as you go forward. So share your learnings, experiences, what you're doing with everybody wherever you get a chance to. Don't make it a compulsion, but be honest with your sharings and learnings. Don't use just AI to create a blog and put it on LinkedIn. Don't do that. Really read, understand the subject, and then you can use AI to put it into 140 characters, which is fine, right? But what I do is that I again, I am also, everybody says post regularly, and I don't do that. I don't post until I feel like there is something to share. You go and go to my LinkedIn. If you want to talk about any topic in detail, I can talk to you about it because I have researched it. It's not an AI pipeline using N8Ns and LLM models to go and search for a topic and create a post on it and post it on LinkedIn and Instagram. No, don't do that. Be really genuine. Be honest with yourself. That's real learning and real sharing. And that was probably my last point to share with you all. Right. So there are no more questions. Yes, Ankit.
So much, Shekhar. I was saying, thank you so much, Shekhar. It was so, I would say, inspiring. It was full of knowledge. We have learned a lot of things. Thank you so much for your valuable time. And we would love to connect with you further. And if you need any sort of help, we will try to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Please,
so much,
please do
Shekhar, for your
that.
time.
Don't hesitate. And yeah, I would love to talk to you all again.
It was great, Shekhar. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Thank
Likewise.
you.
Yes. I hope this was worth your time. You got something out of it. And if you just
We
want to
do
share
got a lot of
something,
things.
just drop me a message, whatever your takeaways, what you learned, or if you agree or disagree on something. I like a good disagreement, honestly. What about this? What about that? You said this, but what about in this case? It it opens up my mind as well to different possibilities. So I really like to have a good conversation. So do that, and all the best and whatever you are doing. Good luck again. Thank you for staying back late and giving this time to a random guy talking. But
No,
yeah.
Shekhar, thanks to you. Thanks for waking up early and giving us this time.
Oh, that's not that early. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Absolutely
Thank you,
fine.
Shekhar. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We'll share the feedback with you on LinkedIn as well. I would request
Yeah.
everybody to create a post or at least drop him a message about the
Yeah.
session.
Please do
Thank you, Shekhar.
whatever you have.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank
Good
you. Bye
night.
bye. Bye, guys. Good night. Take care.